This is my first solo exhibition for my photography. I've been in several other group exhibitions before, but never one just dedicated to my work. And it's focusing a lot on my floral series. I've got another on black series that's all people, and then I've got another one called Small Thoughts that's all about this series of photos that I've taken of this little doll that I have. I absolutely love patterns. I just am really drawn to them, and there's a lot of patterns in nature, and a lot of them you don't see until you really get up close. So the flowers are perfect because they've got all these different lines and structures and shapes and stuff going on in them that you might not notice unless you really move in on them. You get a lot of more interesting textures that you're not used to seeing when you get close. In fact, you almost start to lose the fact of like, what really is this? And so you've got these natural patterns, and I'm imposing my own patterns into the patterns that nature is already creating. And it's sort of a fusion of the two. So it's just a way of exploring patterns, exploring shape, and getting you to look at things a little bit differently. Chlorine Husk is a piece that tends to go in a direction that is something that I'm fascinated with, where you've got something that is organic, but then it's got a bit of decay to it, and is also slightly abstract. So when you look at that piece, you aren't quite sure what is that, where did it come from? It gives you the feeling that, okay, it might be from a flower, or it's definitely organic, but it's also got this age to it. And so that tension between those things is something I really like. Hope. It's a flower that's reminiscent of a cross shape, and for me the cross is this symbol of hope, renewal, regeneration. The flower there also is indicative of sun shape because it's been kind of repeated around, and it's got these rays coming off of it. So that's the kind of vibe that I was trying to get with that piece. Fort Wayne Fluorometry 2 is a piece that is based on some clock face from Fort Wayne. And I often feel like with all the things that are going on in my life that time for me is fractured because I've got so many things that are chopping my day into little pieces. So this piece kind of reflects that, with the clock just being repeated and broken into different pieces and rotated and distorted. The Small Thoughts series is the one where I take this little doll, and this little doll I got from my aunt, who she had it when she was in Germany, when she was a little girl. And so I take this doll, and it gives a sense of emotion to the doll just by pairing it with an interesting setting. So you can have her where she's in this little crack in a wall, and the wall looks like it's closing in on her and it feels really confining. Or you can have her sitting next to a broken window and it feels really lonely, like what's going on here. So that's what kind of that series is all about. And then I've got the other series where I've got portraits of people, and I have them on a pure black background, and it sort of makes them feel isolated, but then a lot of times I'll impose into the image a source of light that's coming in towards the person. So Shattered Reflection is a piece from the People series that I have, where I put them on black. I put a reflection of the portrait that I'm putting there, and then it's distorted. It just brought to mind to me that you can learn a lot about yourself just by looking at your reflection. And it may feel like it's distorted somewhat, or there's something else going on when you stare at your own reflection, and you can get a sense of what's going on in yourself.